If you don't know me, my name is Tegs. I did 8.5 years in the military and 4.5 of those was in the Royal Marines Commandos. When I was training for the Royal Marines, there was nowhere near as much information online as there is today. So this entire video is going to be dedicated on what I would do if I had to train for the Royal Marines again. Bash. This video is going to be broken down into 5 sections that I think are the most important things you need to be focusing on in your military preparation. Number 1 is strength training. Number 2 is bodyweight focus. Number 3 is cardiovascular endurance. Number 4 is nutrition. And number 5 is your mentality. Before we get into the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you're following all of my social media. It's at Tegs Coaching. It's not that hard. Let's get to the episode, shall we? Starting off with strength training. I personally feel this is still overlooked in anybody's preparation for the military. Now, I'm not saying we need to be smashing beach weights 6 times a week to look good for that girl that you know you're never going to talk to. However, we should be aiming to get into the gym 3 to 4 times a week, focusing on movements that are going to directly impact our training for the military. I'm going to run you through my top 5 moves I think are essential in order to get a strong set of pins for whatever path you're taking in your military career. Starting off with the barbell back squat, my main movement when I'm programming all of my online clients. To set it up, you want your feet shoulder width apart. I put my pinky fingers on the smooth bit on the gnarly part of the bar. You're going to set up underneath, bar rested on your traps, feet still shoulder width apart. Stand up 2 to 3 steps back, bracing in for every single rep, engaging your core. It's important to note on this as well, you want to keep your head up the entire time. As soon as we round our head and look down like this, we're going to end up leaning forward and engaging more lower back, which is not what we want. We want this to be engaging all of our leg muscles, quads, hamstrings and glutes. Exercise number 2 is some sort of posterior chain movement. This will directly transfer into the things that you'll be doing when you're in your military training. My go-tos for the posterior chain are either a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift. A couple of pointers for the Romanian deadlift is feet shoulder width apart, hands also shoulder width apart, chest out and head forward the entire time, making sure that you're engaging your hamstrings and glutes throughout the movement. For the Romanian deadlift, we need to make sure we're pausing in the middle of our shins and exploding up to the top of the rep, making sure we squeeze our glutes. Single leg work is an absolute priority when training for the military, especially the Royal Marines, due to traversing over undulating terrain, usually with a massive heavy weight on our back. After our compound movements, I usually favour shifting onto a single leg exercise, making sure I start with my weaker leg first to remove any sort of muscular imbalances. My favourite exercises for that single leg work is either a dumbbell Bulgarian split squat or a single leg press. Last but not least is activating the glutes. Even though we're blokes, we still need a big batty. So my go-to is a barbell hip thrust, making sure we're set up nicely on the pad and squeezing at the top of the rep and having a slight pause at the bottom to remove any sort of momentum from the movement. There also does need to be a focus on upper body training, but in my personal opinion, just not as much as the lower body. We want to be picking exercises that are going to directly help us improve our body weight movements. For the pull-ups, we need a strong set of lats, so make sure that we're getting some wide grip lat pull downs in, banded pull-ups, regular pull-ups, weighted pull-ups to help improve our scores. And for the push-ups, we need to make sure we've got a strong set of triceps and a juicy chest. I've been doing things like close grip bench press and weighted dips as they pretty much simulate the press-up movement. And on top of this, let's focus on some upper body compound movements as well to make sure we don't look like a twig. I'd be opting for a flat barbell bench press, barbell row, and a standing barbell overhead press. Now, strength training is all well and good. However, especially in the first 9 weeks of Royal Marines training, bodyweight movements are what we focus on. You need to be competent at performing all of these bodyweight movements, especially under fatigue. Because I'm a good egg, I'm going to demonstrate a pull-up, press-up and a sit-up. So hands are set up just above shoulder width apart. Now your Royal Marines pull-up is different from your standard pull-up as there's a pause at the bottom and the top of the movement. You start off in a dead hand position with your legs straight. You'll hear the beep and you'll pull to the top of the movement, holding your chin over the bar like this. You'll wait for the second beep and lower yourself back down. The pass mark for your pull-ups is 4 to the beep, but if you rock up only being able to do 4, you look like a knob. So with my online clients, I aim to hit 9 or 10. Press-ups, once again, there is a difference between military and civilian press-ups. For the military, you want your arms close together with more focus on the triceps. So building up the position from the bottom, okay? Arms, pretty much just before shoulder width apart. You want your legs nice and straight, squeezing your glutes, head in a neutral position. You'll hear the bleep, down and up, bleep, down and up. On the PGFA, there will be a partner who's pretty much lying like that with his fist out, and you have to hit your chest on that fist for the rep to count every single time. The pass mark is 30, okay? However, we want to be aiming for between 45 and 50 reps. And finally, the sit-ups. Once again, we're wanting to be as explosive as possible. We'll build up the position together and I'll show you how a rep should be performed. So when you're actually getting tested, you'll have a partner sitting on your feet. I'm alone, so I'm having to use a sandbag. Sandbag, sit up on your feet like this, and your feet are together. When you're performing a sit-up, you need to have your knees together for the entirety of the rep. Hands on your temples. You'll hear the bleep, bleep, up and back, bleep, up and back. It's mega important that when we go up to the top of the movement, okay, our elbows are hitting the top of our knees. I'll show you one more time. Bleep, up and back. Bleep, up and back. Now obviously, as well as our strength specific sessions, I'll be allocating minimum 1 session a week purely on body weight work. I'll be implementing things like circuits to make sure our body is used to the level of volume that we'll be doing when we get into training. An example of a circuit could be literally 10 down to 1 of pull-ups, press-ups, sit-ups, or you could do 4 to 5 rounds picking 4 to 5 body weight movements. For example, you could do 25 air squats, straight into 5 pull-ups, straight into 20 press-ups, straight into 30 sit-ups, straight into 10 burpees, giving yourself 60 seconds rest between rounds. Now, it is no secret that you need to be able to run in order to pass any training in the military. We've obviously already covered our strength work and our bodyweight focus. However, cardiovascular endurance is a massive factor in making sure we're successful within our military preparation. What I found worked best for me was training 3 different running sessions a week. 1 sprint style session, 1 interval style session, and 1 long distance session, usually either increasing mileage or focusing on that zone 2 area. Now obviously, if you are new to running, I would not go in at 3 sessions a week. I would slowly start building ourselves up with 1 session to begin with, and then 2, and then 3. It's also important to note that we don't just have to do impact cardio. We have machines like the bike, the rower, the ski erg, that are all non-impact, where we can still get a cardiovascular benefit but also help improve our recovery at the same time. An example of a sprint session could be 10 sets of 300 meters best effort with 2 minutes rest in between sets. An example of an interval session could be 5 lots of 1 kilometer best efforts at around 85 to 90% intensity with 1 minute rest in between sets. And to spice it up a little bit, let's have a non-impact zone 2 sort of session where we're doing 10 rounds of 1 minute on the ski erg, 1 minute on the assault bike, 1 minute on the rower, and 1 minute rest. This is at a chilled out intensity, building the engine. Nutrition. Now obviously, training is just as important as the nutrition side of things. If we're not recovering efficiently and putting the right food in our body, we're not gonna be having a good time, okay? So starting off with protein, working this out, okay? You're only eating 1 gram per pound of body weight, ideally from a lean sort of source, your chicken, your beef, all that good stuff. Any of these options are ideal. Carbohydrates, our main energy source, okay? This is where we're gonna be getting a good amount of our calories from. Things like pasta, bread, rice, things that are fucking nice whole foods, gonna be taking a little bit longer to digest to give us that slow release of energy throughout the day. Yeah, hello, it's me. Finally, facts, okay? The last main macronutrient. The way I like to split up my sort of percentages for carbohydrates and fats is 70% carbs and 30% fats, all right? With your calories, okay, work out your protein first of all, and then work out how many calories that protein is going to consist of, subtract that from the calories you need to hit for that day, and then divide the remaining number into that 70-30 split of carbohydrates and fats. We've got loads of good things here, like whole eggs, avocado, peanut butter, cheese, and this also helps with our hormone balance. Nutrition is just as important as your training. And last but not least is mentality. I say this to all of my online clients. You could have the best training program in the world, okay? But if you have not got it up here, I guarantee you will not pass any type of military training. The mind will give up way before the body does, okay? And you need to get used to putting yourself outside of your comfort zone and getting comfortable with just being in the locker, being in the pain cave. The most common question I get asked by people is, how do I stay motivated? And my answer is, I'm not motivated pretty much the majority of the time. It's the discipline that I have within myself that carries me through. And if you're embarking on any military venture, you need to practice and create that internal discipline to tell yourself to do things even when motivation is not there. Like I said, you can have the best training program in the world, but if you do not stick to it, you'll have no chance of achieving your dreams. And that's pretty much it, boys. The information I've given you in this video, you should now be able to go away and set yourself up with a plan that will help you in your preparation for the Royal Marines, Army, Navy, whatever avenue you want to go down, okay? If you did enjoy the video, lads, please make sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Follow all of my social media. It's at Tegs Coaching. It's not that hard. Really enjoyed making this video, so let me know if you want to see more of this style of content. And I'll catch you in the next one. Much love as always. Get up.